I went to my first event. The speaker that was there, he was an Amazon seller, an eBay seller, and I went through the event. He had a 3-day workshop coming up. I paid for the workshop. I went through it, and me and him had a one-on-one conversation, and he showed me, he gave me some tips and ideas and what I was doing wrong and what I should be doing. And yeah, everything he told me, I went and did it. And 12 months later, I made my first 6 figures.
Have you ever felt confused about your present, like feeling like you're all over the place and super anxious about your future, but you have the desire to pursue purpose? Well, my name is Michelle Morris, and I've created a series called Living on Purpose. In this series, I interview different individuals who are doing just that, living on purpose. And we talk about their different obstacles that they face, the ups, the downs, and actually what it's like now to actually be pursuing purpose. So I want you guys to come along the journey with me as we talk to these different individuals. We see what it's like to live on purpose. Hey guys, what's up? It's Michelle. Welcome back to another episode of Living on Purpose. Today we have a super special guest. We have here Eli. Eli is an e-commerce. He runs several e-commerce stores, and I want to go ahead and interview him today so we can talk a little bit more about what living on purpose is with him. So, hey Eli.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm so happy you're
All
here.
right.
Thank you so much for doing this interview. So, could you just let us know a little bit about yourself, like what it is that you do, etc.?
Yeah, so I've been selling online since 2012. Currently, I'm selling on Amazon. I'm selling on Walmart.com, and I'm selling on eBay.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the 3 main sites
that you sell products on.
Yeah.
So I want to just to kind of brag on you a little bit, but in a very humble way. And the reason why I'm here, honestly, why I wanted to share your story is because yes, you sell products online, but you're making over 6 figures selling products online.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about a little bit, how did you get into this? So because right now you have the perfect job for 2020 and moving forward, especially during everything going on, the pandemic, and really the way the world is going now is to be an online influencer, e-commerce, etc. So how did you get into this?
Well, in my 20s, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And so
can any of you guys relate?
So I've tried many different businesses. I tried network marketing. I tried MLM. I became a real estate agent. I was a loan officer.
Wait, are you telling my story right now? It sounds like me.
I was doing a lot, and then the last business I had my own social media marketing agency. I started it back in 2010, before it became a thing. Yeah, I started it early.
That's so interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then another business that I did was I had a foreclosure cleaning business, and that one, all of them, it didn't work out. I kept failing each businesses, and none of them will stick. And so I got to a point where it's like, you know what? I had a dream in high school that I wanted a career in IT. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to school. So now I'm 30 years old. I kept failing. Nothing was working. So, you know what? I'm going to go back to school. And I went back to school at 30 years old. I wanted to be in IT. So that was my major in IT. And in the first class we had, the instructor, he had us take apart computers and laptops. Take them apart, put them back together, troubleshooting them. And this one day, I just had this idea. I just sold this online, and I did a lot of shopping on eBay also, and I noticed there were laptops on eBay that were pretty cheap, and I bought a laptop on eBay, and I saw the prices that they were selling on Amazon, and I bought my first laptop on eBay for $80, and I took a look at it. I added Windows, Microsoft Word to it. I made sure that the battery charger was good, the charger was good, and I decided to list it on Amazon for $150. A couple of days later, it sold. And so I took that money. I went back on eBay. I bought 2 more laptops. And both of the laptops sold in a couple of days.
So you're like, wait a minute.
I'm like, okay, it's working.
Right.
So I just kept going back and forth, buying more laptops. It just kept growing and growing while I was in school. Okay. And, so that's how I ended up starting.
So you talked about you were in school. You were 30. You went back to school. Yeah. What were you doing? Were you working?
Yeah. So I've been working as a security officer, and I've been doing that for about 10 years. And the thing is, when I was working as a security officer full time, and I was doing Amazon part time. Right. So I'll get off from work at midnight. I'll get home about 12:30. I'll grab a couple of snacks. And then I'll start working on my Amazon business. 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning for a couple of hours. Wow. So that I knew I had to put. I knew it was working. I knew I had to put more time into it in order for it to grow. So that became,
Yeah, you just had to make like the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you're working full time, you're going to school, and then now you have this Amazon business. Right. So when did you know, because like you didn't finish the school, which... No, I didn't finish. Yeah. Well, whatever. But so when did you know it was time to leave school and then eventually leave your job? And this is why I'm asking, because I think a lot of people, even myself, we make the mistake in leaving our work too soon. Right. So when did you know it was time for you to say, you know what, like, I don't need this school thing because this is why I'm going to school, so I can make the money. I'm making the money. And I really don't need to be at this job, but here it is. This is a job that's giving you security, that's paying your bills, that maybe you had benefits. Right. And you've been there for 10 years. How did you then walk away? How did you know it was time?
For me, when I was in school, I got to a point where I just kept failing.
I didn't mean to laugh.
My math class, I kept failing in math class, honestly.
I failed my math class like 4 times. Before I got my associate's.
After my second time of failing it, I was like, you know what? My business is growing. It's time for me to let it go. I wouldn't tell my mom. I knew she would be upset and disappointed, so I didn't tell anybody when I dropped out of school. And as time goes on, she kind of figured it out. And then
were you living with your mom? Not to cut you off.
Was I living with my mom? I had moved out. Actually, when I moved out of her house, I moved into efficiency, 400 square foot efficiency.
That's
tiny. So I started my business in that efficiency, 400 square foot efficiency. And so there wasn't no kitchen. I just had a stove and an oven. So that's all I needed. I'm not a cook, so.
You're like a single guy living by yourself. Yeah. But talk a little bit more, sorry, because I did cut you off. Talk a little bit more about how you knew it was time for you to go. So you said, you're failing math. Right. So I was failing math, and then eventually instead of taking the class third time, the math class, I decided to let it go and dropped out and give my business more time and focus. So basically you were you're doing the school. So school took up a lot of time. So you cut out the school. Right. So now you do the time for school to work on your business, but you still have the security guard job that you were working. Right. For 10 years you had the night shift, I think you were saying.
I was working night shift.
So the daytime you worked on your business, the nighttime you went to work.
Right.
So when did your side hustle become your full-time job? Like when did it you were like, wait, I don't need this job because now my side hustle selling things online is now more than my regular job.
Yeah.
When did that happen for you?
Yeah, so...
and were you afraid?
I had got my business to a point where I was actually making the same amount I was making as a security officer. But I was scared to quit, actually.
Of course, a lot of people are.
Pull the trigger. Yeah. It was a big decision, and so I had this injury. I play football on the weekend. I had this injury where if I stand up for a long time, my leg is starting to hurt. So I couldn't stand for
As a security guard.
For a long period of time. I got to a point where like I couldn't handle the pain anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I was making enough with my business, and I made that decision to turn in my 2 weeks notice. And I made the decision to quit.
So roughly how long was that? So, because the reason why I'm asking so many details, because I think a lot of people, especially a lot of young people, and I've made this mistake before too, where it's like, okay, this thing is kind of working, I'm gonna quit right now. But it's like, I always want to tell people there's nothing wrong about having a 9-to-5. Everyone's not supposed to be an entrepreneur. But if you know in your spirit, like I feel like I'm supposed to be an entrepreneur, I think you have to know strategically. And it may not be your time frame, but just to kind of give an example of like, okay, when it's time. Okay, first thing you said is that your side hustle, you started making your full-time job income on your side hustle.
Right.
But then, like, what time frame was that for you? Like you said, you started in 2012. Was it a year later, 2 years later, or a month? Like,
no. Actually, I started 2012. I actually turned in my 2 weeks notice May of 2016.
So it was about 2 years.
Yeah, 2012 to 2016, about 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years.
12 to 16. Yeah, my bad. I don't know why I'm thinking like 14. 4
years.
So about 4 years. Okay.
Yeah, because for me, I had to learn everything on my own. By that time, I didn't know anybody who was selling online.
Right. That wasn't a thing in 2012?
It wasn't a thing back then. So I basically learned on my own and watching the videos online. One question I get asked all the time is, which course did I purchase? I never purchased any course.
I've asked you that.
Yeah. So,
I've asked you that.
Yeah, I never purchased any course. I learned it on my own. That's why it took me a while to learn it and to quit my job.
Right.
So.
And I think that's something important that you said, because it's going to be a different time frame for everybody. Some people are just going to get this business where like it just shoots and rockets. But I think it's important to find that foundation, which is a mistake that I've made of like not really finding my footing and leaving. I mean, it's taught me how to be quick on my feet, but I think it's important to find that foundation. But you mentioned something that I think a lot of, especially young people, go through this, and I know myself. You mentioned something about being afraid to tell your mom that you're leaving school. Mind you, you're 30 years old.
Yeah.
And age, whatever, but like you were afraid to tell your mom, you're afraid to tell your family. When did you eventually tell them, and how did they react? And then the second question, and if you don't remember, I'll say it again, but how important do you think it is for a person who may be watching this and they want to go off and do this thing that's untraditional? Because you're Haitian, so you're going to go do what online? You're not going to go be a doctor, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, how important do you think it is for someone to have their family support? But first I want you to talk about when did you eventually tell your mom, and when did you stop caring about because clearly, sorry, I would say clearly, it's like you're doing well. So
yeah. Actually, I heard someone said who was an Indian. He said you're either a doctor, a lawyer, or a failure. In his parents' eyes,
or maybe an engineer. You can do engineer. They might accept the engineer. But
yeah. So one thing I've learned is that you gotta follow your. I've learned that I gotta follow my own passion.
Right.
I can't base my life on what other people want.
Right.
I can't live my life on what my mom wants for me, because my vision and my dreams are different from theirs.
Right.
So I can't. So whenever I have a vision or a dream, I'm normally not going to tell everybody about it, because if you tell the wrong person about it,
they'll kill it.
They may shut it down. The reason why they shot it down is because they don't see it. The reason they don't see it is because it's not their dreams. It's not their vision. God gave you that dream, that vision for a reason. It's for you.
Yep.
So you can't go out telling everybody your dreams and vision, but sometimes you got to keep it to yourself. Right. So whenever I have an idea, a dream, or a vision, I keep it to myself.
Right.
And I just pursue it. And so and for me, that's and also I believe in a long time that it's important for me to follow, go after my dreams, my visions, and not worry, care. Not necessarily care, but not worry what other people would think or say.
I have to say, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your relationship with your mom now? So,
yeah.
Here it is, 2012. I know your mom probably like, what in the world are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Now it's 2020, and you're here. You're doing well. You can take care of yourself. What is your relationship now with your mom, and what does she think about what you're doing? In your family.
Me and my mom, we always been close.
Yeah.
Eventually, when I quit, she kind of figured it out over time that I started being around more often. She noticed I'm not going to school.
She's like, how you got all this time?
And then she would bring it up.
Yeah,
One day she brought it up. Hey, what happened? Are you going to school? What happened? She kept bringing it up. And eventually, I told her, you know what? I told her how much I was making from selling online.
Yeah.
How much I was making. And she was shocked. She was surprised. Then after that, she stopped asking me about it. She stopped bringing it up.
Because you know what it is? I find a lot of time with parents, I think money talks, number one.
Yeah.
But number two, I think also, because I'm always this way. I feel like I understand our parents in the sense they grew up from a different time, especially if you have an immigrant parent or Caribbean or, just like, African, whatever parent, like, or whichever. Parents, they come up from a different time. So I think more importantly, they want you to be well, and they don't want you to struggle, and they want you to do better than them. But I think also what parents have to realize is that we're just in a different time.
Right.
School is great for what it's for if you need to go, but you don't have to go.
Yeah.
Especially if you're making more than probably like your professor at the school anyways.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So I think that's so great. But I just wanted to know, so like, okay, so you're working, you're doing all these things, you're doing well. How long did it take for you to like maybe like introduce this to like feel confident enough to say like, hey, this is what I do. I sell things online. Like, was it ever like something like you were embarrassed about, or did you just not care?
No, actually, I always been a private person, and I wouldn't.
I can see that.
I wouldn't tell anybody about it. I don't want to come across like I'm boasting or bragging.
Yeah.
So for a long time, I just kept it to myself. And I noticed at one point that I had peaked at my income, and I was making probably about 50, 60 grand at one point in a year. I noticed I had peaked. I know that in order for me to grow at another level, I have to step out of my comfort zone, and I need to put myself more out there. And so I went to my first event. The speaker that was there, he was an Amazon seller, an eBay seller, and I went through the event. He had a 3-day workshop coming up. I paid for the workshop. I went through it, and me and him had a one-on-one conversation, and he gave me some tips and ideas and what I was doing wrong and what I should be doing. And everything he told me, I went and did it. And 12 months later, I made my first 6 figures.
You know what's so crazy about what you're saying, which is not crazy, but I think the biggest thing, like how people always say knowledge is power.
Yeah.
But just a testament to what you're saying, it's not that knowledge is power, but it's the application of knowledge that's power.
Right.
I think especially in today's time, like there's so much information.
Yeah.
And it's just, if we get information download, but it's like what you said, you're actually taking the information, actually applying the information, your life changed in like 12 months.
Right.
But I wanted to say this though, just piggybacking off of that. So everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Like that is like the thing. Like everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but I think people don't realize how much work goes into being entrepreneurship. And now in a sense, I mean, I've gotten to know you and you're kind of coasting now, but like what does a typical day look like for you?
A typical day? For me, the first part of my day, I spend on, that's an acronym that I use, time, TIME.
Okay.
So the first part of my day, I'll focus on that. The T stands for thankfulness. So I'll focus on gratitude.
Wow.
And what to be thankful for. And I put my focus and my time on that. And the little stuff, I'll start with little stuff, And I'm thankful for my laptop. I'm thankful for my home that I lived in. Whatever it is, I try to think of something to take my mind off what I don't have and focus on
what you do have.
What I do have.
That's a really great perspective.
Yeah, and the next one is inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and the next thing I do is I'll pray. I'll read my Bible, and then after that, I'll pick up a personal development book. I'll start reading the book. I like reading. That's something I picked up over time, and every day I'll read something every day. And next thing I started doing is AM is for meditation. So I picked up meditation about a year ago, and now I spend at least 10 minutes every day now meditating.
That's good.
There's different types of meditation. There's breathing meditation, scanning your body meditation, walking meditation, beach meditation. You got to pick the one that fits for you.
That's for you.
Yeah, that's right for you. And the next one is E. E is for exercise. I think it's important to exercise and work out, and that's something I do in the morning. And that's my first part of the day is spent on self. And then
how long is that?
Usually
roughly?
About a couple hours.
Okay.
I spend about a couple hours on that.
So you could spend a couple hours in the morning just making sure self-care is good.
That's
good.
Yeah. And then second part of the day, I spend on serving, working 80% of the things that I do. I make sure that I spend it on the things that I was created to do, that I was meant to do, and 20% on what I don't have to do. So the next part of the day is I spend on working on the business, checking inventory,
right,
reordering, and if I need to reorder anything, respond to
emails,
any messages or emails from customers.
True, yeah.
And so I spend probably about 5 hours a day now on the business. Yeah, 4 to 5 hours a day now.
Yeah, on the business.
On the business, yeah.
So that's what you spend now. How long? So basically, you were able to gradually start taking that much time and find gratitude and everything. I think with entrepreneurship, a lot of people, they just see the glitz and the glamour. They see, the beautiful, water, ocean view, condo, whichever, but like you didn't start that way.
Right.
You said you were like in a 400, little square foot apartment, etc. But I have a question for you too. How did you not give up? Because you said that you failed at a lot of things, like you're a professional failure. Like I feel like that's my story right now. Like I'm like a professional failure, but obviously the more you fail, the more you get the tenacity. So how did you not give up in these times, like when you were constantly failing?
Yeah. When your why is big enough, you can handle anyhow. You can handle any tribulations and trials.
When your why is big enough. That's so good.
Yeah. My why.
I was gonna ask you that. What's your why?
Yeah, my why is when I was in my 20s. It's been my mom. And, where we grew up.
How did you grow up?
We grew up. My mom was from Haiti, and we're not from here, and so I came here when I was 9 years old. It was tough growing up. We lived on food stamps, Section 8, WIC, government assistance. It definitely helped us a lot. That's going through. It was kind of tough growing up.
Right.
I watched my mom get physical abuse. The person she was with, and it just kept going until I was 12 years old. Growing up it's been rough, and so my little brother ended up getting arrested at one point. My older brother ended up getting arrested at one point. My little sister ended up getting arrested at one point. It put a lot of stress on our mom.
Yeah.
She raised 5 kids on her own. And for me, never got arrested or sent to jail, but I've been in handcuffs about 3 different occasions. I've been placed in back of a police car once before, but luckily thank God that I was never sent to jail. And at one point, I did get involved in illegal activity with the guys that I grew up with at one point, and because I was struggling and trying to make it.
Right.
Everything I was doing, it wasn't working. Growing up for me, it was, and not only that, but I stuttered a lot growing up. It was worse growing up as a kid.
Right.
Going through school, and so I'll be known the quiet kid. And
because you don't want to get picked on.
I don't want to get picked on and bullied. So instead of speaking and talking, people making fun of me because of my stuttering, I'll just stay quiet.
Just don't say anything.
And I've been picked on. I've been bullied in school, all through school, and it wasn't easy. It was rough growing up, And I remember I was at an event and someone asked the whole group, if you could go back and live your childhood again, who would go back? And most of the people in the room raised their hand. I'm like, no, I couldn't go back.
I don't want to do that again.
It was too painful, and I definitely don't want to go back. And that's how,
so that's your why.
Yeah.
So that's why you go so hard.
Yeah. And then after that, when my daughter came along, it just raised my level of hunger. And I became a different person after that. And I started putting more hours and work into my craft.
Right.
It gave me that extra fuel.
Exactly. You want to make sure that her childhood isn't the same as yours.
Yeah, exactly.
And
and them two became my why.
So, are you the only one in your family now? Because now things have become like a 180 for you.
Yeah.
Right? Like your why has become now your reality. And even though obviously I know you love your daughter, you love your mom, so you're still, you're still working hard, but like, are you the only one who does this, or like, what is it now for your family?
Yeah. So, my little brother now, not only he's working his full-time job, he started selling online now. So he loves his job. He doesn't want to quit. So now he.
But now he has a second income.
Now he has a second income.
Yeah, and a good income.
Yeah. Between his job and the online business, he's now making 6 figures now.
Yeah.
And I told you before, I mentioned before that as a kid, younger, he got arrested for stealing and hanging out with the wrong crowd. And my older brother, who was arrested before, he's now a dentist.
That's awesome.
And he owns all these real estate. He made a goal at one point. He'll buy at least one real estate property a year.
Right.
For 10 years in a row,
right.
He will buy at least one property. He started small with a duplex, and now he owns all these commercial apartment buildings, commercial office buildings.
Your mom must be so proud.
Yeah. She definitely is proud now, and the stress level has definitely changed.
Of course.
If she wants, she could retire right now. My mom, she's been working as a housemaid for like 25, 30 years, almost 30 years now. And in about 2 years, she's about to retire as a maid, as a housekeeper.
That's awesome. I think that's so amazing. It just goes to show that, like, when you just have a different influence or you just change the trajectory, because I'm pretty sure you influenced your brother, your younger brother, and then your older brother probably influenced you for him to make that like shift in his life. So I think that's so amazing. Well, we're going to go ahead and kind of wrap this up, but there's a few last questions I want to ask you. So, like, you talked a lot about reading, and I was looking around. I see like a lot of books around. And I think this would be so helpful for a lot of young people, but especially a lot of young men. So what book changed your life? Like, you read it and it just like a light bulb went off in your head.
There's not one particular book.
However many you want to say.
There is many books. One of them is 10X by Grant Cardone.
10X, okay.
Yeah, another one is Think and Grow Rich.
That's a good
by
one.
Napoleon Hill. Another one is Rich Dad Poor Dad.
That's a good one by Robert Kiyosaki.
The Secret is another good book, and another book is Success Principles by Jack Canfield.
I never heard of that one. Success Principles.
Success Principles, yeah. And Driven Purpose was by I forgot the author name. The Driven Purpose. If you need help or guidance in finding your purpose, that's a good book to read.
What was that one again? Driven Purpose?
Yeah, The Driven Purpose. I can't think of the name of the author.
That's fine. I'm pretty sure we could find it. Yeah. But so what's next for you? Because like now you're here, life is different, you can live comfortably. What do you see next for yourself? Like, what do you want to do? Are you going to sell online forever? Like, is there another venture? Well, what's next?
Yeah, am I going to sell online forever? I don't know. So when I made my first 6 figures, I was living in my efficiency. So I stayed there.
Wait, when was that? You made your first 6 figures when?
I think it was 2017.
Oh, okay. So you've been living a six-figure life for a little minute.
So 2017, and then I decided to live below my means. So while I was making the 6 figures, I stayed in that efficiency, and every penny I was making, I was saving it.
Right.
I basically put it away, and I saved it. So each year I was making 6 figures. I wouldn't touch the money. I would just put it away. I'll save it. And so I always wanted to get into real estate, and so actually when 2020 came around, I was waiting. I figured a recession is coming. Right. That's what I was hearing. So I figured, you know what, it's time. I'm going to be ready, to invest in real estate. But as times go by, I noticed there is no recession. People are buying properties like crazy now. Yeah. And so I've been waiting, looking for an opportunity. And when my daughter moved up to Southeast Florida, that's around Fort Myers, the Acres area, I drove up there, and I've seen a lot of new houses and a lot of vacant lands. And so I just had this idea. I was wondering how much it would cost to build a house. Right. And I saw the cost of lands. It cost between $15,000 and up. And so I end up buying 3 vacant lands, and I'm in the process of building 2 houses right now on those 2 vacant lands. So the plan is to build houses and resell them. So like an investor. Like an investor.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this was great.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So how I like to end all of these, interviews with everyone is pretty much, what does living on purpose mean to you?
Living on purpose, for me, is I realize the more people I serve, the more I become effective. The more people I serve, the more inspiring, encouraging. It does make you happy. It does make me happy. And if service, it's a rent. It's a rent we pay for the privilege of living here on earth. So for me, my purpose is to serve and to give to others. So I believe that's my purpose.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Eli. Yep. This was awesome. And where can people find you if you want to share, like if someone wanted to reach out to you, etc., or they just wanted to follow your journey, where could they find you?
They can follow me on Instagram, Elider D, ELIDERD. D
as in dog.
Yeah, D as in dog. Elider D. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Living on Purpose. Bye, guys.
All right.
Did you like this interview? Tell me what you liked about it in the comment section below. And while you're down there, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell button so you get more notifications for the next Living on Purpose interview. And don't forget to share this video with someone that you like, love, or you just want to see this video. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Living on Purpose. Bye, guys.